Flip-hand phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
What do YouTube? Bkelly back again with another banger video. In today's video, y'all, I am going to be talking about the #1 player in the class of 2022 for football, and that is none other than quarterback Quinn Ewers from Southlake Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas. Now, he has a big decision that he has to make before the season starts, if he's going to either enroll early at Ohio State or play his senior season at Southlake Carroll. Now in today's video, I'm going to go very in-depth on this and go in-depth on his story and how he became the #1 quarterback in the nation. But before I move on with the video, remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, as we are on the road to 10K. Now let's get into it. Before I talk about what's going on right now with Quinn Ewers and his decision that he has to make, I want to talk about his rise in high school football and Texas high school football, period. Now, in his sophomore season at Southlake Carroll High School, he became the starting quarterback, and he went off and solidified himself as the #1 quarterback in the class of 2022 and a top player in that class as well. As in that season, he played in 14 games, threw for over 4,000 yards, completed 72% of his passes, threw for 45 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. The guy completely balled out, and not only that, he only lost 1 game in that season, and it was in the 6A Division I quarterfinals, as they lost to a very good Duncanville squad. In that one season as a sophomore, he completely skyrocketed his stock in high school football recruiting as he became the #1 quarterback in the nation and a top player in the class of 2022. He really had that great of a season, and not only that, he was viewed as a top quarterback in the nation no matter what class you put him in. 2022, 2023, or 2021, it did not matter. He was a top quarterback in the nation that season, and everyone knew it. In the 2020 season at Southlake Carroll High School as a junior, Quinn Ewers would miss some games as he only played in 8 games that season, but he still played very well as he threw for 2,442 yards, completed 66% of his passes, threw for 28 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions, and even made it to the state title game this season, unfortunately losing to Westlake High School, who is also a very good squad led by yet another top quarterback in the class of 2022. Just briefly, I want to talk about Quinn Ewers and his recruitment in high school so far. Now, when he was first being recruited, it really seemed like he was an OU lean, and there was many people out there that thought he would end up at OU, but eventually OU would kind of back off as Lincoln Riley got his quarterback for the future from the class of 2021, who was also the #1 quarterback in his class, and that is none other than Caleb Williams. With them backing off, Texas gained a lot of ground, and Texas eventually led for Quinn Ewers, and even got a commitment from Quinn Ewers on August 14th, 2020. At the time, this made a lot of Texas fans very happy and made them really look forward to the future as they got a game-changing player in Quinn Ewers that could change their program in an instant right off the bat and be the quarterback that they really need to have Texas actually be back into relevance and to be a top team in the Big 12 and to try to win the Big 12 and try to fend off OU. Now, yes, I do know that Texas and OU are technically going to the SEC now, but when he was committed to Texas, they were still in the Big 12, and there was no talks about them going to the SEC, or at least not any leaked information. Quinn would stay committed to Texas for a good part of his junior season, but in October he would decommit from the Longhorns, and then eventually Ohio State gained a lot of steam on Quinn Ewers, and then they would eventually land him on November 19th. As I have said a few times in this video so far, in the class of 2022, Quinn Ewers is the #1 player in his class and #1 quarterback, and is currently committed to Ohio State. Obviously, he is a 5-star recruit on every platform, 24/7, ESPN, and Rivals, as he is seen as the top quarterback in the nation, point blank, period. But not only that, Quinn Ewers is such a highly touted recruit is that he is seen as one of the top all-time quarterbacks coming out of high school and all-time rankings-wise coming out of the 24/7 Sports rankings. Now that you know a little bit more about Quinn Ewers and what he's done in high school so far, his recruitment and everything just like that, let's talk about the dilemma that he's facing right now. The decision that Quinn Ewers has to make is he going to play his senior season of high school football at South Lake Carroll, or is he going to enroll early at Ohio State? That is the decision. There are reasons to both sides of why he would leave early and why he would not leave early, but first, let's talk about why he would possibly leave early. 1. The NIL deal. Now, if you don't know what NIL is, it basically is the name, image, and likeness bill for college athletes to make them make money off their name, image, and likeness. And Quinn Ewers right now in high school is not able to do that, and he would make a ton of money in college right now if he was there, but he cannot, as you're not allowed to make money off your name, image, and likeness in high school in Texas. 2. He gets to learn the playbook earlier at Ohio State. Now this would weigh on his decision a lot. Yes, you can argue that money would be a big factor, but I feel like this might be the biggest one, as he gets to learn the system earlier, as he'll be able to learn the system in August to September range versus January to February range, as more than likely Quinn Ewers would be an early enrollee at Ohio State. And getting to learn the playbook earlier is going to be a bigger advantage in learning it later, and would give him a better opportunity to take a starting job at Ohio State earlier in his career. 3. There is also the reason of he'll get acclimated with the area earlier, and he'll get used to college classes and workouts with the team, and all of that will help him be more prepared for spring football. And there's also a 4th reason, but I'm not really counting this as a reason, but you can if you want. It could be counted as a reason, or it could not. Kind of just depends on how his career goes. If he does forgo his final year of high school football, he would be eligible for the 2024 NFL Draft. Now, I'm going to be talking about why he would stay for his senior season of high school football. Well, 1, it's your final season of high school football. Everybody looks forward to their final season of high school football, and it's something that everyone remembers as you're playing it as your final high school season with some of your buddies that you've grown up with, or you've played with, or you came in with at that same high school, and you want to try to finish the year off on a bang, as some of your buddies might never get to play football again, and that might be the last time you play football with any of your buddies again. 2, and this is probably the biggest reason, is that you get to compete for a state title and try to get redemption and win the state title this year, and engrave your name even more in Texas high school football history as a Texas high school football legend. Currently, right now, Quinn Ewers has been stated to say that he is leaning towards going up to Ohio State early and to just get comfortable with the Ohio and Columbus area and to start to learn. But there is some speculation going around that if he does leave early from high school to go to Ohio State, will other top recruits in the nation do the same thing and take advantage of NIL and skip their senior season of high school football? Before I head out, guys, remember to smash that like button, turn on them post notifications, and subscribe for more videos. Bkelly out!